Boom! What's going on, guys? Welcome into your Energy News Beat here on this gorgeous Monday, March 8th, 2021. As always, I'm your humble correspondent, Michael Tanner, coming to you from an undisclosed location here in Denver, Colorado. Joined by the executive producer of the show, the purveyor of the show, the director and publisher of the world's greatest website, EnergyNewsBeat.com, Stuart Turley. My man, how we doing today?
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood back in bear country.
Yeah, you are back finally in what we call God's country. But no, guys, we have a great show for you guys lined up today. You can check all that in a bag of chips out to my left here. But first, guys, continue to subscribe to the world's greatest YouTube channel, EnergyNewsBeat.com. You can also check us out online, EnergyNewsBeat.com, the best place for all of your energy news. It's legit just an IV of news. Stu, I'm going to let you rant real quick about you know what, and then we can move on with the show.
We have an app. We are now, as they say, bona fide. So go to the the Google Play Store and download the Energy News Beat app. It is cool. Talk about your IV. It's a big horse tranquilizer of news. It is fabulous. The Apple one's coming out shortly, so we are pumped. Go get yourself a full cup of.
Yeah, I mean, now you have no excuse not to. You should be checking this at all times. I want you on dates checking this. I want your date.
Oh,
what are you checking? Oh, it's just Energy News Beat. It's no worries. It's important stuff.
Oh, it's such a balanced diet of energy. It is wonderful.
So check it out. Really excited to have the app. We'll be showing you all the different features here, but really excited to get that guy going. On the equities front, Stu, we're back to yields tell the tale. So, I mean, I'll read you top line indices, then we'll dive into each one. You sitting down here, you go, Stu. So, we only got about 0.1% off SPY. NASDAQ tumbles 2.3 percentage points. Dow Jones finishes up 1 percentage point. 2.6 basis points on the upside for the 10-year yield, currently trading at 1.592. That's 1.6 percentage points. So unbelievable. Futures at this point have rolled over. NASDAQ futures trading down 2.5 percentage points. Unbelievable, Stu. Wow. So a couple things that are happening. Yields rising are going to be very bad as for tech stocks. Apple, Tesla, there's another one. Netflix, all traded down more than 3.5 percentage points off the fact of higher yields, higher cost of capital. Companies specifically, which are placed in the NASDAQ, use cheap debt to continue to fund growth. So as the NASDAQ continues, or as the 10-year yield continues to climb, the NASDAQ will continue to fall. Now, David Tepper, who I consider one of the smartest guys to work on Wall Street. He now owns the Panthers, Appaloosa management guy. He is basically convinced. He says, there's this quote on CNBC's Squawk Box this morning. He goes, quote, basically, I think rates have temporarily made the most of the move and should be more stable for the next few months, which makes it safer to be in stocks for now. He thinks bellwether stocks like Amazon are attractive after this quote unquote pullback. I mean, so there's that case. On the other case, we take a look. Inflation continues to rise. The Senate has also passed a $1.9 trillion economic relief plan that gives a $1,400 amount of checks to people making under $7,500. Thank you very much, Stu. But don't worry, it's costing everybody about $5,000 a person. So, about a quarter of the country gets $1,400 checks. But then it will cost every person about $5,700. So it's, you do the math. But that is part of the reason why we're seeing the Dow Jones continue to rise. We also saw that, big thing out of the CDC. Whoever, if you're still listening to the CDC, apparently if you've been fully vaccinated, you can safely meet indoors without masks. So, for whatever that's worth, that's partly why you're seeing the Dow Jones. Disney's going to rise 5% after California eased some COVID rules. American Airlines, all these stocks surrounding opening up as we begin to roll out this vaccine. We now have more people vaccinated than who have actually had coronavirus. Interesting. I'm just pointing it out.
You're just saying. You're asking for a friend.
Yeah, I'm just asking for a friend. Can I phone a friend? No, I'm just kidding. So as vaccine news continues to stay bullish, that's going to drive Dow Jones up. So we have these really just two really just interesting narratives that are really pulling apart, all held together by yields. We know what Stu thinks massive inflation is coming. Stu thinks we're going to be wheelbarrowing dollar bills to the store to buy bread. So if yay, that seems fun. That sounds like a good time to me. Let's move over to crude oil though. On that note, in 10 years ago, Stu, oil would be $75 today. I'm going to let you cover the majority of what happened over the weekend with Saudi Arabia and the attack on their export terminal. But point is, guys, we lost about 2 percentage points in the index day after what would be considered a act of war. Stu's going to dive into all the details, but you tweeted out last night, Stu, $73 oil. Oh, swing and a miss there. And see, that's time stamped on that one. Non-fungible token. We're selling that tweet. We're selling that tweet. $5 you can get Stu's tweet of oil completely wrong last night. But I mean, I was on the agreement with you, and so was Scott. He was on the same page with us. So it's interesting. 64.80 is the top line for WTI, back into the curve, 60.69. Brent's not even above 70. Brent's 69.64. So yeah, like I said, I we'll get into all the dynamics of what happened when Stu kind of talks about overall what happened in Saudi Arabia. We also had a warmer than expected weather report drop this weekend, driving natural gas prices down about 1.4 percentage points, about $2.66 in the front end, back into the curve, $2.88. XOP shaves about 1% off, down to 89.17. OIH actually sees about 2.3% increase to $277.17 for all you Dogecoin holders out there. It popped about 10 percentage points today after Mark Cuban and the Mavs. So you can buy Mavs. Stu, you can buy Mavs tickets in Dogecoin now. Are you going? You gonna buy a Mavs ticket in Dogecoin?
Nope.
Buy the Doge. Let's go take a look at some stocks on the downside here first. Consol Energy down big. Brejos down big. Denbury, they lose 10 percentage points. And Cosmos Energy, they lose 13 percentage points. Big numbers on the upside, though. We got boys over at Ring. Got to love that. They're up 3.7 percentage points. Vulcan Minerals, they're up 6 percentage points. Prime Energy Corporation, they're up 6.7 percentage points. And Ramaco Resources, they rise 8.3 percentage points. All right, Stu. Bring us back. What's going on with Saudi Arabia? Bring us back, because when did this happen? Saturday, Sunday?
Sunday morning. But people wanted to cheer for higher price oil, and I think everybody got onto the bandwagon. I mean, the Twitter feed was going nutty last night, Michael. You saw that.
Yeah.
The Saudi Arabian oil site, the largest oil shipping site.
Was it like 8 million barrels a day?
Yes. I think it's almost 7% of the world's usage in a day. It was attacked back in 2019, and that's what really caused a big thing, a big issue back then. They had a drone
When was
strike.
that? Was that fall of 2019?
I have the dates in an article, but I believe so.
I remember sitting through that. I remember being in a contract position, making some nice. No. That was a weekend thing. I'm thinking of. I've been on the right and wrong side of a bunch of tweets that have just gone either right or wrong my way. But this, I think, was a weekend, right?
I believe so.
Yes. I remember.
I just had the Bloomberg article that was published in that when I was doing some homework on it. So it is the drone strikes. There was multiple drones. They were launched from the sea, and the Saudi missile air defenses shot down all of them but one, and it was a minor damage. So the Saudi ministry said a storage tank in the Ras export terminal was hit. Witnesses reported an explosion rocking the city and windows shaking. Nobody hurt, loss of life or property. I mean, it is scary to think about how big that facility is.
And the fact that
good.
Yeah, and no, it's good. We don't want that per se. fact that oil then tumbles, I mean, we're at 64.70 now. We're down 2.1%. Unbelievable.
But here's the thing, Michael. Earlier this year, we talked about Iranians stealing 3 tankers, hijacking them. We've talked about other political unrest issues, and didn't affect oil at all. People were wanting something. Okay, are you ready for the next one? Here we go. This was early this morning, around 4 this morning, on the Tokyo exchange. World shares ease as yields and oil ring inflation alarm. Could inflation decrease oil demand? Yes. The whole world is watching the U.S. stimulus package. That stimulus package at $2 trillion. What's a few
1.9.
trillion?
1.9.
Oh, come
1.9.
on.
I take.
1.9.
Just
Okay.
kidding.
It's ridiculous. The world is watching it, and the world has been printing money. I've been harping on this for 6 months, and you can't print this much money without inflation happening. And here it is. Japanese and the world is worried about inflation. Okay. Now let's go back to
You're
Club
just a
Med.
barrel of fun, Stu. You're just a barrel of fun.
I'm all about green energy, getting people out of poverty. I am not in for going into debt. Here's Turkey, our boys over in Turkey. Politically, in the Club Med, we know that Turkey has been drilling in the Black Sea.
Yep.
They've been drilling in the Mediterranean. They've been working with Libya. They've been a thorn in everybody's side. However, the peace treaties that were put in place and all the oil demand and everything else, the U.S. shale is not putting out as much. Turkey has now asked for meetings with Egypt, and they say Turkey seeks to repair ties with Arab world. So they are now on board with trying to be all nice and play nice in the sandbox. I'm excited for Turkey to be able to say, wait a minute, this is a new chapter. Go get them, Turkey. I hope you do come back in and want to play nice in the sandbox.
Yeah, new merch item available on EnergyNewsBeat.com. Energy Newsbeat branded wheelbarrows, so you can move all of the cash to go buy dinner.
You know what?
So you can buy them. They're $100 a piece because inflation. Duh. We got bills to pay around here. But yeah, there'll be Energy Newsbeat branded wheelbarrows. You'll have Stu's face on it. So as you're shoveling in your worthless dollar bills to go get some soup for you and your family, you've been unemployed for 8 months, you can rest assured know that you have a vehicle to get all of your worthless dollars to it. Courtesy of Stu. It's great stuff.
And the hydrogen vehicles, no less.
Yeah. And then you're gonna be walking alongside, pushing your wheelbarrow to a store, and a Tesla's gonna sling by with nobody in it and just spray you with water. You're gonna walk into the supermarket all seb. It's
This morning DRW put out a post on hydrogen, and I replied back to DRW and said, "Oh, by the way, is Tesla going to create a hydrogen car because they could then sell another unprofitable car and sell more credits for hydrogen?"
It's possible. It's possible.
It's possible.
It's completely possible.
You never know.
Yeah, I don't know how high. Yeah, it's a very. I haven't gotten around to reading the article. I'll have to read it. DRW, follow him. Hot take of the day. I don't really have anything on the EMP side. I mean, honestly, really the only thing I found interesting today was I did notice that our boy Matt Gallagher dropped about $16 million in his shares of Pioneer. So that's a nice little direct deposit hits the account. Yesterday it was March 3rd, so hey man, you gotta this life or the next.
He's not getting a stimulus check.
No, he's not eligible for the stimulus.
No, they're also
you could stimulate. You could stimulate our company and give us some of that. So
we're open to investors, but they're also saying the wealthy tax is going retro to last year. That's nuts.
Yeah, I'd be very interested how far that wealth tax plays out. I I'm not as familiar on it because I don't have to worry about it. But it's going to be interesting how it plays out. Because how do you tax like equity in a company? Like how does Jeff Bezos? I am always fascinated. If anybody on the show who watches knows this, I would be highly interested in like someone like Jeff Bezos or like a billionaire. How liquid are they versus like a lot of their stuff is in stocks? Are they lending? I think a lot of it is they're lending their stock to get they're basically like they have lines of credit with banks that are backed by the stock in the company. I think that's how it works. I'd just be highly fascinated like how those people operate.
The article this morning on Jeff Bezos was $7 billion for last year's taxes. He would owe $7 billion.
But like, does he even have that type of money? Like, I doubt those guys keep liquid that type of money, because all of his net worth is just in Amazon stock. I think. But it doesn't matter. If you do accounting for billionaires, one, help me out. Two, I just like to know what their liquidity situation looks like.
And if you ever want to go retro, why don't we ask my grandfather, who was one of the main folks up there, and he discovered the North Slope. Why don't we ask him for money and tax him way back when, from now till then? Retro taxes are beautiful.
Yeah, Rockefeller's rolling over in his grave because he sees the check he's got to cut.
Oh yeah, why not?
We'll let you out of here on this, guys. You know Data Gumbo. We love them. Blockchain company, massively interconnected smart contract network. They announced today the announcement today was GumboNet ESG. If you follow our show back when we were at the old regime, we harped on the fact that one, ESG is becoming huge, but two, how do you bring clarity to this? How do you see what your emissions are? How do you track? I mean, and remember, it's not just environmental. There's a governance issue. There's a social issue. There's all these issues that need to be tracked. Data Gumbo comes out today and announces GumboNet ESG, which basically is attempting to verify in real time using the blockchain performance monitoring according to the Sustainability Accounting Standards Board, the SASB. This is cool, Stu. I'm a big fan of this. I wish I would have, come up, I wish I would have been able to roll something out. This is big bucks right here, because this not only helps bring clarity to operators to say, okay, where are we from an ESG standpoint? How do we get better? This gives investors now an ability to say, okay, how have these companies moved? It gives a way to more. I mean, it's a great idea. That's all I'll say. It's a great idea.
When I was interviewing Andrew Bruce last year, I believe it was December, I went nuts when he was talking about his ESG back then. And I said, the number one problem with ESG is accountability. And he goes, well, we've got accountability on the corner. So accountability and ESG go hand in hand with investors.
Yeah. That's a much nicer picture to end the show on than a wheelbarrow of cash rolling to get a loaf of bread from the store. So pick your poison, guys. We miss anything today, Stu?
Oh, I don't know. I get beat up by you is always a lot of fun, Michael. We're gonna have a great rest of the day.
No, we're gonna have a great day, guys. We're gonna have a great week. Stick around, guys. Energy News Beat's gonna be here all week. But with this, we're gonna let you get out of here, get back to work, finish your day. For Stuart Turley and Michael Tanner. See you guys tomorrow on the beat.
Download the app.
Yes.